Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby. Today we're going to be talking about some 2025 anticipated releases. I thought this would be a nice sit back, casual kind of video. So we're sitting at my desk instead of on my couch like usual. There are about 15 books that I've looked into that I'm looking forward to reading. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I'm going to go month by month. In January, we're looking forward to Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Shauna McGuire. This is part of the Wayward Children series. I really enjoy this series. This book is about a water world, so we're going through to one of these wayward worlds, and I was really enjoy reading about these amazing worlds that Shauna McGuire comes up with. On the 14th of January, we have two books coming out. We have Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, again with the Wayward Children. This is by Grady Hendrix. This story is about a school for girls that are having issues if they're pregnant, troubled, runaways, that kind of thing, and they go to this home, and hopefully there'll be some magic involved as well. Next is A Serial Killer's Guide to Marriage by Asia McKay. This couple of serial killers decide to settle down and get married and have a baby, and the female serial killer still decides that she wants to go out and kill people, and the male serial killer decides that he is ready to become a father and forget that life. So just kind of them trying to figure out how to balance that. And it sounds like a very interesting perspective. Next is The Baby Dragon Cafe by, I'm gonna butcher this name, but Amna Kreshi, I think that's how you say it. This is about a woman who opens up a cafe for baby dragons, and there is a little bit of a love story in this, and it just sounds really cute. I like reading about dragons, and it kind of gives me like tea dragon vibes with the cafe, and I'm just looking forward to reading this. I don't have any books for February, but for March, I have on March 4th, Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. This is the 5th book in the Finley Donovan series, and this is just like such a fun time. I really enjoy these books. They're funny. I literally laugh out loud when I'm reading these books, but Finley Donovan has gotten herself into some shenanigans in the past few books, but this book, her neighbor, who doesn't really like her, has found herself in some hot water, and Finley decides to help her. But her neighbor, there's a dead body found in the backyard, so the neighbor is trying to prove her innocence, and I have a feeling Finley is going to be a little over involved. Next, on March 6th, we have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. This is the same author that wrote The Very Secret Society of Regular Witches. This is exactly how it sounds. It is about keeping an inn and using some magic. There's a talking fox involved in the story, and it just sounds like a really good time. I really enjoyed the found family in the Secret Society of Regular Witches, and I think that this is going to give us more of that too. I think that Sangu Vandana, just her writing is like a warm, cozy hug, and I'm just looking forward to this one so much. On March 18th, we have Sunrise on the Reaping. This is part of the Hunger Games series, and this is Haymitch's story. For those that might not remember, Haymitch was Katniss's mentor, and he was her mentor because he survived his Hunger Games, and he's from the same district. On the 25th of March, we have Gothic Town by Emily Carpenter. This is a story about a woman who ends up winning a house. Basically, she pays like $100 for a house and moves her family there, and they realize that maybe this wasn't the best deal, but it sounds like a really interesting read. I'm hoping that there's like horror vibes involved. There's not that in the synopsis, but it sounded really interesting. This woman's basically haunted by her nightmares, and the town doesn't necessarily want them there, but she doesn't really have anywhere else to go. So she has her husband and her daughter with her. And then for the month of April, on April 1st, we have Say You'll Remember Me by Abbi Jimenez. I really enjoyed her Part of Your World series. I do plan on reading her backlist, but this is her new one, and it is about this couple and they go on the perfect date. And they seem like they're the perfect couple together. At the end of the date, Samantha says, I want you to remember this perfectly, but I want you to forget about me. And I don't know. I just, oof, oof. I know Abbi Jimenez is going to do something great with that storyline. Also in April, we have our other large romance author in this booktube community, and that is Emily Henry. Her new book is called Great Big Beautiful Life. It's about these two people that are competing to write the biography of a woman that nobody's seen in years. She's a very famous woman, and it just sounds like a good time, that it's going to be close proximity, and I'm waiting for them to fall in love. Next on May 13th is The Floating World by Axie O. This is the beginning of a series. I read Axie O's contemporary fiction XOXO, and I really enjoyed her writing style, but this is a fantasy, and it is about a former soldier that is hired to hunt down a girl, and they kind of inadvertently meet while this girl is running away, and he doesn't know that she's the one he's after. And that sounds like a crazy setup, but she needs his help. Basically, she's relying on him for getting her to safety. And there is magic in this, so I'm looking forward to reading about her magic system and just diving into a new fantasy series. This one, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for this one. Okay, on June 10th, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. And let me just read this to you, okay? Santo Domingo de la Calzada, 1532. London, 1837. Boston, 2019. Three young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, and one grows deep, and one grows wild, and all of them grow teeth. If you guys follow V.E. Schwab like I do on social media, she has said that this is her lesbian vampire story. I'm looking forward to it. V.E. Schwab is one of my favorite authors, and I think that this is just going to hit the nail on the head. I'm excited. And then another one of my slowly becoming my favorite authors, at least I'm reading all of his books lately, is With a Vengeance by Riley Sager. This comes out on June 10th as well. The tagline for this is One Train, No Stops, a deadly game of survival and revenge. So this, when I read the synopsis, was very much like Murder on the Orient Express, but revenge style. Let me explain. This woman lures all these people onto a train to get revenge on them, but a dead body shows up on the train. So somebody else in this group that she's invited on this train is also trying to do some harm to other people. This story just sounds wild and messy, and I'm here for it. Let's go. Come on, June. Let's go. On July 15th, we have The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst. In the spell shop, there is a spider plant that is sentient, and they talk about his creator is turned into a stone statue and is kind of just stuck in the library where Kaz and Keela used to live. Well, this is the story of that statue. She ends up waking up on an island with a bunch of greenhouses. And it just sounds like it's going to be kind of cozy too. There's a lot of food references in the synopsis, like honey cakes, and there's a grumpy gardener. I hope that this one is a redeeming novel for her in my eyes. Not that I didn't like the spell shop, it was just I had a couple issues, but I'm excited for the next one. Does that make sense? On August 19th, we have Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. It's a dark reimagining of Snow White. And it seems like there's going to be more magic involved. Snow White's kind of dark if you think about it already, so I don't know how much darker T. Kingfisher is going to make this, but I'm looking forward to reading it. She has great world building, and I adore some of her characters too. Hopefully, there'll be some fun side characters in this book. And that does it for anticipated releases. I might do another one in the middle of the year because I feel like more books by more authors that I enjoy are going to come out later in the year, but maybe there's just no announcements yet or no set dates. But yeah, I am looking forward to reading these. Please let me know in the comments down below if any of these pique your interest or if you have a book for me that's upcoming that I might be interested in. I would love to hear your thoughts. Happy reading. But at the end of the date, Samantha, the female in the relation, in the couple, the female, and then also in October, he doesn't know that she's after. Next is the Enchanted oh my god, Grey House. August 19th, we have Hem, blah, 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 blah.